We're following breaking news out of Paris. 2 suspects have now been arrested in connection with that heist at the Louvre last weekend. According to the Paris prosecutor's office, the suspects were taken into custody last night.
From heist to bestseller, this is the most cinematic breaking news this week. Thieves steal the crown jewels from the Louvre Museum in Paris in broad daylight. Not a movie, not fiction, real life. On October 20th, 2025, 2 suspects entered the museum in Paris. Within minutes, they have pulled off a $100 million heist, stealing royal jewels that were in a display case. Glass was smashed, alarms were triggered, but they still got away with it in broad daylight while the museum was open first thing on the Sunday morning. And as of today, the jewels are still missing and the suspects are still at large. So why does this matter here on Strategic Basics, where we bring you breaking news and turn it into business breakthroughs? Because this is where strategy can start. Hopefully you are not a jewel thief, but if you are a CEO, an expert, or an entrepreneur, or an author, this story is an example of how you can have a breakthrough from the breaking news. Here's the key takeaway. When something unexpected happens in the world, don't just scroll passively. Ask, could this be the seed of a story? Because so very often it is. Great fiction, great strategy, and great messaging don't appear from thin air. They can appear when you see a headline and then turn it into a hook. For example, let's talk about Agatha Christie. She didn't make everything up. She paid attention to the news. Her novel, The Mysterious Affair at Styles, was inspired by real-life poisonings. And her book, Murder on the Orient Express, was inspired by the Lindbergh kidnappings. Agatha Christie once shared that she read crime stories obsessively, clipping articles, listening to rumors, watching court cases, paying attention to the news. And you can do this too. Another example, Dan Brown, he does the same thing with art, religion, and conspiracy. What a best-selling author. I mean, I loved his book, The Da Vinci Code. It sparked controversy, but he studied how people were already obsessed with stories of the secrets of the church, with hidden messages in paintings, with symbolism in plain sight. So the takeaway strategy here for you is both of these best-selling authors took real events and gave them narrative power. And here's how you can do it the same. Let news stories trigger your story ideas. Maybe it's the next scene in your novel, or maybe it's a metaphor for your next keynote. Give it something sharp and edgy. Or maybe it's a proof point that you can use in your next marketing message. If you are writing fiction, and I'm one of the few book coaches that loves helping people with fiction as well as nonfiction, maybe use it to inspire the backstory of a character or why they're in a rush when your hero meets them. Use the news stories to spark something fresh. Use them to add edge to a story that you're already telling. And when you get stale telling a story, you can freshen it all up by taking something from the news. Here's the business takeaway. With careful planning, you too could make $100 million in 7 minutes. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating. But it's a reminder that strategy plus speed equals power. I mean, they pulled this off in 7 minutes, but that doesn't count the time that they planned it and strategized it and made a plan in advance. Let's have a peek at the actual news stories, which I found just amazingly fascinating, and I hope that they inspire you to add something to a story or a keynote or your marketing message, and let me know how you use it in the comments below. I love hearing from you. All right, let's take a peek at the news clips.
They had to get out very quickly. That's why they dropped one of the crowns. The crown of Eugenie, which was the wife of Napoleon III. They actually dropped it on the ground and damaged it.
The thieves exit the same way they came in and flee east on motorbikes. In the end, making off with $102 million worth of crown jewels.
Bottom line, don't just watch the news, use it. This is Strategic Basics, and I am Aurora Winter, the founder of Same Page Publishing. If you'd like help sharpening your message, clarifying your book or your brand, then book a complimentary business breakthrough call at bookcall.com. glamorize.biz. Your words have power. Let's make them memorable and profitable. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.